Hi to everybody at the 6th Indian World Film Festival 2022. My name is Bhavesh Joshi and I'm the filmmaker behind Why the Sky. Why the Sky is a short 8-minute film about reconnecting with your dreams by revisiting your childhood. I came up with this idea quite autobiographically, as this is how my life has progressed over the last 6 or 7 years. My drive behind making this film was I found a lot of people in and around my area who had been struggling with knowing what they wanted in life and knowing what direction they wanted to take their life. And this was a message that I had repeated several times to the people around me, but I felt that this had the potential to be heard on a wider scale. The biggest roadblock that I faced while making this film was COVID. I shot this film in March 2021, and even though a lot of the early stages of the pandemic had passed, this was right in the thick of things. And at this time, we were dealing with issues about financing, we were dealing with issues about crew availability. We had a major helicopter sequence in the film, and we were dealing with adverse weather. And so, in order to manage the human and financial resources on the film, we had to be very innovative. Because we couldn't have a lot of people on set at the same time or have a lot of people engaged to minimize the risk of exposure, I had to take up a lot of hats myself. I was writing, directing, and producing the film. And that became quite challenging because of the limited crew numbers. We didn't have assistant directors or production managers or any of the other crew members you typically would have had on a film. And this became a real challenge between balancing the creative and the financial aspect for me. The film had initially started off as wanting to be a hardcore love story about a man's passion for flying. It was a love story about him connecting with who he wanted to be. However, I feel that as we saw the film in the first cut, we realized that while it was hitting all of the story arcs we wanted it to hit, it was a bit bland. And so, in order to keep things a bit more interesting, and in order to captivate the audience in a different way, we decided to be a bit experimental. We went down the route of making this a silent film with not a distinct narrative structure. It's more of an experience film. And I think this really allowed us to create a ballad for the love that this character has for flying and the love that this character feels for himself when he reconnects with his childhood. I think the target audience for this film is especially young people between the ages of, say, 15 to 21. This is the time where a lot of people face social pressures, face social anxieties, and this is really the time where people are deciding what they want to be in life. And I think that through this message, we want to tell people that it's okay to be what you wanted to be when you were 5. Go do the thing that everybody told you is impractical or couldn't be done. Because if you believe in yourself enough, it'll be done. And the USP for this film, I think, is really how beautifully we've managed to capture and work with a lot of production techniques that short films, typically of this range, wouldn't be able to work with. In this film, we have worked with VFX crews, original music, helicopter crews. We have shot everything on live locations. Despite the pandemic, we were able to bring together all of these factors of production and come together in a way that I think is truly remarkable. And especially as a 23-year-old filmmaker, I don't know a lot of my peers who have similar production experience as I do. In terms of promotion and distribution for the film, we are aiming to get this film, because it's focused heavily on the aviation market. We're trying to see if there's any airlines or any stakeholders in aviation who might be interested. Because this film is about the love of air, love of flying, and coming out of the pandemic where flying and travel has been stopped for a long time, we're aiming to target that market. I think the audience should watch this film because it's really a film about celebrating who you are. And I find that even in our day-to-day life, even regardless of what age group you might be in, regardless of where you might be in the world, I find that a lot of people have these desires and these instincts and these ambitions inside of them that they haven't explored. And I think that this film could really be seen as a celebration of the self, and also as just a reminder that, you know, that thing that you've been wanting to do but haven't done for a while, you should go and do it. Any messages for emerging filmmakers? I'd say the best films that you can possibly make are the films that truly come from your heart and say something that you really want to say. So if there's something that you've been wanting to say, despite any constraints, despite any limitations you might have, I think you should just go out and do it. My social media handles, you can follow me on Instagram at bhaveshjoshi26. And that's all for me for now. Thank you to everyone, and I wish everyone in the competition the best of success. Thank you.